So we've been planning on making a video about the NFL free agency for a little while now, but there's just one problem with trying to do that. It seems like trying to do it, like if you make a video of it, 30 seconds later, something fucking crazy is gonna happen. Like
2022,
this
everybody.
off season, yeah, this off season is on freaking crack.
I don't think I've ever seen an off season this utterly insane.
Yes. Like, so many, like, good Pro Bowl players at or still relatively close to their prime are being flipped around. And, like, it's just weird. Like, you don't see this from the NFL. This is an NBA thing. Like, you see this more in basketball than you do in football.
I know.
So, yeah.
It's why everyone looks towards the trade deadlines for basketball, hockey, and yes, even baseball. NFL free agency is the one place where you say, okay, who's going to make moves? Who's going to make moves where? What are they going to risk for those moves? And then we question, why the hell did you make those moves? and
or better yet, why did you not make those moves?
And in doing so, we're going to make tier lists out of them.
Quality internet content.
Yes, as you can see right on the screen, we have set up what we'd like to know is the NFL. Oh, that should be 2022. NFL free agency 2022 tier list maker. So
yeah, well, it's still up to date enough because, like, look, we got the Commanders logo. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay, no problem. But yes, right here we have our lists of who had the best free agency as of March 23rd, 2022, around 8:00 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yeah, like the last big move that's happened is Tyreek Hill getting traded to the Dolphins.
Yes, and there's been plenty of moves even before then. So we're gonna go team by team. We'll do this in alphabetical order, but as you can see in front of us, we have 6 categories. The top category, basically, who's having the best free agency so far? The Super Bowl bound teams.
We're going to the Super Bowl.
Next is playoff contenders. They could have actually really good free agencies, really good pickup signings, utility stuff that they needed to get for some really good deals. Next is solid improvement. Not necessarily like top tier, but they made the right moves at the right times, maybe underrated. Following that is all you need is draft. In which we could say, like, okay, maybe if they draft the right players, they might have a chance. Then is better luck next year. Mostly these are the people who are getting rid of players for just avoiding the salary cap. And then the bottom one is
basically the teams that are outright. Basically the teams that are just outright tanking.
And then finally, what the fuck are we doing? Where it's the teams that have no idea what the hell they're doing, and they're just making bizarre moves, like not like losing players mid contract signing,
or like overpaying for like mid quality players.
Right, exactly. So in doing
so, is Kana here? I haven't heard from Kana since we started.
Oh, I'm just letting you talk.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, Kana's here.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go down. Let's go alphabetical order. So,
just so you know, these logos are not quite in alphabetical order. They're close, but like there's a couple that are off. But
yeah. Anyway, let's start off with, of course, the Arizona Cardinals. If this, okay. Starting off with the Arizona Cardinals, now we're going off of SportingNews.com's grade list because they have the not as well as the re-signings, but they also have key additions and key losses. So, as far as the Arizona Cardinals, key re-signings are running back James Conner, tight end Zach Ertz, and Max Williams. Re-signing Colt McCoy as their backup quarterback, or maybe potential quarterback, we don't know. Linebacker Dennis Gardick, and punter Andy Lee. The key addition was cornerback Jeff Gladney from the Minnesota Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, they had several key losses. Running back Chase Edmonds, wide receiver Christian Kirk. We'll get to that.
Mm-hmm.
Edge rusher Chandler Jones, linebacker Jordan Hicks, defensive end Jordan Phillips, cornerback Robert Alford, wide receiver AJ Green, and defensive tackle Corey Peters. I think AJ Green and Corey Peters still have not been selected by any teams yet, which is why they're kind of listed last on the key losses.
Yeah, because they could theoretically bring them back.
All right. So.
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead. You start off.
I honestly think this might be our first. What the fuck are we doing?
Ooh.
Like they overpaid so much for James Conner, who is at best, a like goal line threat, but they paid him like a top 10 running back.
Mm-hmm.
Like they let Christian Kirk walk, which granted, were they going to be able to match the Jaguars? Probably not, but they have done very little to bring him back. At this point, not to mention Zach Ertz is going to be on the decline. There's not a lot here that I am happy with. Even bringing back Colt McCoy. If Colt McCoy is your starting quarterback for any more than like 3 games, danger, Will Robinson.
I think it's danger Cliff Kingsbury in that case.
Yes, absolutely. I could be talked into maybe a little higher, but that's where I'm at.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Between WTF and Better Luck Next Year? Ooh.
Oh, no, I'm agreeing with Nikki.
Okay. Yeah, let's put them in WTF as what the fuck are we doing currently?
Yeah. And the only person that they've brought in, like you said, or the only major person is Jeff Gladney. Like, from Minnesota, who did not have a great secondary.
Nope. Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's
not great.
I think he also got drafted, in 2019? Oh, no, 2020.
Something like that. So theoretically, he could improve, but still.
Right. So we'll put them in WTF. What the fuck we're doing for right now? Next is the Atlanta Falcons, and
Okay. I swear I'm not going to put everybody in what the fuck are we doing, but when your biggest signing is your kicker?
Yeah. So key re-signings: Cordell Patterson, Younghoe Koo, and cornerback Isaiah Oliver. There are key additions: Marcus Mariota from Vegas, cornerback Casey Hayward Jr., and running back Damian Williams. And their losses, oh boy, you thought like other quarterbacks were big news, but apparently Matt Ryan's gone now. Linebacker Fasaid
Foyesade
Olukun. Tight end Hayden Hurst. Wide receiver Russell Gage, and edge rusher Dante Fowler Jr.
And that's not even mentioning losing Calvin Ridley due to gambling, which is a whole load of bullshit, but there you go.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on the gambling thing. But this is like, so is Atlanta now the worst team in the division?
There was a moment where I was like, they're the worst team in at least the NFC, but then I remember they share a division with the Panthers.
I know.
So, like, I don't think it's possible for both teams to go 0-17, but they're going to give it a good shot.
Yeah, this is definitely unfortunately, this is definitely a rebuilding year. So I would actually say better luck next year. Wait until what happens come the 2023 draft.
Right. Although they only got a third for Matt Ryan, so that's not much better.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying put them better luck next year.
All right.
Next on the list is the Baltimore Ravens.
Finally, a good team.
Except there
Kinda.
are no key, according to sportingnews.com, there are no key resignings. But they did have...
True, but...
Yes, but they did have some important additions. Safety Marcus Williams, defensive tackle Michael Pierce, and offensive tackle Morgan Moses.
All big moves.
Right. Unfortunately, their losses, center Bradley Bozeman, offensive tackle Alejandro Villanueva, and cornerback Anthony Everett. So
now here's a question. Phil, what do you guys think would have been Villanueva's contract this year if re-signed?
I can't remember, but I do know he retired. Like he didn't like his contract didn't expire, so he was still under contract. I could probably find it somewhere. Alejandro, damn you and your long name. Contract. Sports Track. He was on a fairly reasonable contract. Like he was making about $3 million per year.
He retired.
Oh, here we go. 2 years. Oh, it's actually 2 years, $14 million. So that must have been just cap hit. But yeah, 2 years, $14 million.
Right.
Total, not per.
So, again, not a rebuilding year.
How much did they spend on their new safety?
Marcus Williams.
Oh, it was something like $70 million for like 5 years, I think. It is a big contract, but Marcus Williams is a really good safety. Like he spent time, like he was with the Saints before, so I got to see a lot of him.
Right, and Morgan Moses, despite him being on the Jets, was a key addition to that offensive line.
Yeah, he's probably going to immediately replace Villanueva.
Oh yeah.
So, now I probably put. I'm torn between solid improvement and all you need is draft.
I would go all you need is draft.
All you needed.
Because they basically lost as much as they gained, so they'll be looking to the draft to actually improve.
Fair.
All right.
I could be talked out of any of these, so.
Yeah, no problem. All right, let's get to you guys, you folks. Let's talk about the Chicago Bears.
Get ready for sadness.
All right, I think you only had only one re-signing. DeAndre Houston.
Safety.
Yeah, your safety, DeAndre Houston Carson. Additions you had a bunch. But interior offensive lineman Lucas Patrick, defensive tackle Justin Jones, linebacker Nicholas Morrow, wide receiver Equanimus St. Brown from the Packers.
Yeah, over there he was like their number 5 receiver, but over here he could be like a 2.
Which is not.
That's not a good thing.
I know.
I know. Kind of the same for the next guy.
Yeah, Byron Pringle, and
from the Chiefs.
Yep, and defensive tackle Al-Quad and Muhammad.
And of course, we decided not to re-sign a certain person.
Yeah, several.
You're talking about Khalil. Yeah.
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 Yeah, Khalil Mack got traded.
Why would... That's...
Because okay, this is going to be a hot take. Khalil Mack was not as good with the Bears as he was with the Raiders. Such your feelings, you know it to be true.
Yes, but how are we going to replace him?
Honestly, like, we got a couple of guys on the defense. Let's finish with the key losses before we get too far into this.
Okay, so you lost Khalil Mack, your defensive tackle Akeem Hicks, wide receiver Allen Robinson.
That's fine. He was openly wanting out.
Guard James Daniels.
That hurts.
Defensive end Bilal Nichols. Running back Damian Williams. Wide receiver Jakeem Grant. cornerback Patty Burns, and your punter Pat O'Donnell.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's a couple of pieces coming in that I like. I like Justin Jones. I like Al-Quadin Muhammad. Muhammad actually came from Indy, which is where Matt Eberflus was from. So he knows their system. That being said, so many big losses you look at and it's just this is a team that is probably tanking.
Yep.
So probably better luck next year.
Sounds about right.
Wait,
right.
1 second. I need to check something.
What's checking up on?
Before we confirm.
I just want to say we lost Jakeem Grant, who once again Bears lose a top 5 returner, but we'll find a new one. We basically have to have a top 5 returner on our roster at all times.
Right. So, Connor, what were you looking up?
I'm checking something for next year.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, in the meantime, we're going to take a look at our Super Bowl runner-ups, the Cincinnati Bengals.
All right. Finally, someone to put into the top half of this.
Yep. All right. Key re-signings. Safety Jesse Bates. Defensive tackle B.J. Hill. Backup quarterback Brandon Allen. Cornerback Eli Apple.
Hey, he's coming around.
All right. Safety Michael Thomas. And wide receiver Mike Thomas. The key additions, pretty much offensive line. Alex Kappa, Ted Karras, and Lyle Collins.
And I believe at some point last season we mentioned that the Bengals' biggest problem is that offensive line being tissue paper.
And look what
anybody with eyeballs could see that.
Yep. And they did have 3 key losses. Defensive tackle Larry Ogunjobi.
Who almost went to the Bears, but he failed his physical.
Yeah.
Which, thank God, because Larry Ogunjobi sucks.
Tight end, I don't think anyone saw this coming. Tight end CJ Uzama.
Yeah. I guess he wanted more money than the Bengals were willing to offer.
All right. And then cornerback Darius Phillips.
But yeah, Lions signed a whole ass O-line.
Bengals.
What did I say?
You said Lions.
Oh.
Other kitty.
Other kitty.
Yeah, wrong kitty. Yeah, Bengals signed a whole ass O-line. They got two guards and a new right tackle, along with they still have Jonah Williams on the left side, who's solid. Now they basically just need is one more interior lineman, and they're good.
Yeah.
This offensive line is at the very least average to above average, right. And if you got that with that offense,
right, and with that, I would say they are definitely playoff contenders.
Mm-hmm. If they had one more big signing, if they made one of the other big moves besides going towards offensive linemen, then we could put them in Super Bowl bound. But for now, yeah.
I mean, again, there are still people that are still out there. I know Tyrann Mathieu's still out there. OBJ's still out there. I'm trying to think what other big. Again, we also said AJ Green's still out there, but he's probably on his way out. Actually, they might re-sign him, or have him retire with the Bengals.
Oh, that would be a nice little thing. Finally, get him a ring.
Yeah. All right. Next, let's head north in Ohio to the Cleveland Browns.
Oh. Where do morals lie on this thing? Because that might play a factor.
That is a coin flip. So, key re-signings. Re-signed tight end David Njoku. And
I think they got him on the franchise tag.
Yep. And linebacker Anthony Walker.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about their additions. Let's work backwards.
Okay.
Defensive tackle Taven Bryan.
That's a good move.
Mm-hmm. Quarterback Jacoby Brissett. as a backup, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Wide
May have to
receiver,
start.
Jakeem Grant.
Hey, there he is.
Edge rusher Chase Winovich.
Mm-hmm.
Wide receiver Amari Cooper.
For nothing.
Yeah, I know. And that is basically offset by, oh boy, quarterback Deshaun Watson.
Remember that time where they said that? Remember that time when they said they wanted an adult?
So hear me out.
Uh-huh.
You take if we completely exclude Deshaun,
Mhm.
that's still a really good that's really good free agency for them.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's really fucking good. Which is
And
Mhm.
and if the wheel of punishment is spun and lands on nothing, I think for Deshaun, it's even fucking better.
Mhm.
But even if he does have to miss games, Jacoby Brissett is not a starting quality, but an above average backup quarterback. Like, they can rely on him with this offense to win like a couple of games before Deshaun comes in.
Yeah, but that being said, let's take a look at their key losses. The big one, three big ones. Wide receiver Jarvis Landry, tight end Austin Hooper, and wide receiver Rashard Higgins.
Now, Landry might be coming back because like the whole thing was he didn't want to play with Baker. Not a problem anymore.
Possibly. We still don't know what's happening with Baker.
Yeah.
And also
He might just Deshaun it this season and just sit out the year and wait to get traded.
Yep, and at the same time, linebacker Mac Wilson, their kicker Chase McLaughlin, and quarterback MJ Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
So again, we still have no idea what's going to be happening with the Deshaun Watson situation. Are they going to trade Baker to Seattle? Are they going to look elsewhere for him? Is he going to sit out? Is Deshaun Watson going to get suspended if some of that stuff goes through on getting sued?
Mm-hmm.
But I would have said, if not for Deshaun Watson, I probably would have said playoff contenders, but I'm going to have to go solid improvement.
I disagree. Because
if you think he should be higher, I'm with you.
I'm saying Super Bowl bound. Even if they don't have Deshaun, let's put it this way: Amari Cooper, probably on par, if not better than the two wide receivers they lost. Correct?
I would say with at least one.
Yeah, I'm not saying both. At least one of them.
Mm-hmm.
If they get lucky and Landry comes back, that's two of the best wide receivers there is to have.
Mm-hmm.
So they're either playoff or Super Bowl.
I would go with playoff contenders.
All right, so split the difference.
Because you can't. Yeah. Okay, yeah, you can't give away or you can't put them too far down because, like, they did just get a franchise quarterback. Okay. Like, I'm not a fan of his, but on the field, that's what you're getting.
Okay.
Provided that he comes back to 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Okay. Okay, in that case, I know I think we probably skipped this in order because this kind of area is kind of fucked. So let's move on to the Buffalo Bills. They made a lot of good signings, and signings and re-signings. So, re-signed Shaq Lawson, Isaiah McKenzie, Jake Kumaro, and quarterback Ciaran Neal. Their additions: Von Miller.
Checkmate.
Yeah.
6 years, $120 million.
a bit much, let's just say, but like not a ton of it's guaranteed.
Right. Guard Roger Saffold. Tight end O.J. Howard. I think that's a good move.
Dude, yeah.
Running back Duke Johnson.
Wide
receiver Jamison Crowder. On a short-term deal, honestly, better than Cole Beasley.
Dude, that's a steal of a deal. Like it was like 1 year, $2.5 million or something.
Defensive tackle Tim Settle. Defensive end Jordan Phillips. And defensive tackle Daquan Jones. As for who they lost, quarterback Mitch Trubisky, their backup. Defensive tackle Harrison Phillips. Defensive tackle Star Lutulele. Quarterback Levi Wallace. Center John Feliciano. And wide receiver Emmanuel Sanders. And then the two that still have not been signed, Cole Beasley and offensive tackle Darrell Williams.
Okay. Super Bowl bound.
Bills going Super Bowl?
Bills going Super Bowl, which is something my boss does not want to hear because he constantly thinks I'm jinxing his Bills, but
I disagree. I think playoff definitely. I can't stretch to Super Bowl.
Okay, if more of the Von Miller deal was guaranteed, I might agree with you, but the $120 million is like if he hits every incentive, basically. Like the O.J. Howard deal is a steal. Like he's been forced to sit behind Gronk for the last couple of years, and like he's just a quality starting tight end who's just been sitting there. Like, you pair him up with Dawson Knox, that's probably the best tight end duo in the league right now. Jamison Crowder on a 1-year deal is a steal. Duke Johnson Jr. is a great get. Roger Saffold, they needed help on their O-line after losing John Feliciano and Darrell Williams. Like, I can't look at anything on this roster and say that this team like declined in any way. And plus, they're the betting favorites to win the Super Bowl. Like, I maybe come down to playoff contender, but I feel strongly about Bills like at or very close to the top. If they're playoff contenders, they're like basically if playoff contenders is your A tier, they're an A plus. Right. We'll go with that.
All right. In that case, let us move on. Oh boy, let's move on to the Carolina Panthers.
And back down we go.
Oh boy, we had a good 3-team run. Let's talk about some shit, as Nikki would say. Where are they? I'm just looking at the list. According to them, they are. They're second to last. Oh my god.
That's about right.
Okay, so key re-signings: Dante Jackson, wide receiver Brandon Zylstra, edge rusher Marquise Haynes, and kicker Zane Gonzalez. Okay, key additions: running back Dante Foreman, guard Austin Corbett, center Bradley Bozeman, linebacker Corey Littleton, safety Xavier Woods, punter John Hecker, wide receiver Rashard Higgins, and linebacker Damian Wilson. Their key losses, oh god, their entire defense: Hassan Reddick, Stephon Gilmore, AJ Boye, Daquan Jones, and Morgan Fox.
Yeah, that's not optimal. And that Dante Jackson one, that doesn't tell the whole story. That, like, he was their number 2 guy behind, actually probably number 3 guy behind both Stephon Gilmore and AJ Boye. And, like, he was fine-ish as, like, a slot corner, but they paid him, like, a number 1. So that's not great.
Mm.
That being said, there's a couple of signings here I like. Austin Corbett, bringing him over from the Rams. They had a great line. Snag a piece of that. Johnny Hecker's still a top 5 punter.
Yep.
And if it's not obvious, I'm already running out of things to talk about if I'm talking about the punter. Xavier Woods is all right.
Yep.
Mm.
Yep. Xavier.
I hear he's a pretty good wrestler too.
Wrong Xavier Woods.
It's a new team. Yes, it is.
Is joke.
I know.
So these guys, they desperately need the draft, but it's not going to be all you need is draft. It's a better luck next year.
Yeah, because even if they kill this draft, like they're still like 6-11 at best. I mean, if they overachieve, this is one of those things where like maybe they'll like Dolphins from 2018, I think it was. What was that year where they were just hot shit and like they basically just willed themselves to 5 wins when nobody thought they would win any.
Was that 2019? Because I do remember that was.
It was the first. Yeah, it was the first year of Brian Flores.
Oh no! I think it's someone else. Because 2019 was the Curse of the Black Cat, where they just lost every other. They lost every game after the Cowboys Giants game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh jeez, I don't remember when that was. Was it pre or that was before Cam Newton, right?
Well, I was talking about the Dolphins. Like,
oh no, I'm
like
talking
that.
Okay, never mind.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay,
but
I thought we were talking about the Panthers.
But yeah, basically, there's a chance that this team might slightly overachieve, but they're nowhere near playoff contenders, even in a weak NFC.
Right. Oh yeah, you were talking about 2019 with Brian Flores' first year.
Yeah.
Somehow beating both the Eagles and the Patriots.
Well, the Dolphins just beat the Patriots like whenever they want to, basically, even if they're hot shit.
Why are you like this way, Dolphins? Anyway,
keep doing it. It's very entertaining.
Anyway, next moving on. Oh my god, and this is definitely going into the WTF are we doing category. How about them Cowboys?
Scooter Magruder, like he is on suicide watch.
Oh, I feel bad. But yeah, let's talk about. Okay, so key resignings: Michael Gallup, Dalton Schultz, Leighton Vander Esch, Malik Hooker, and Jaron Kearse. They have one signing, and that's wide receiver James Washington. And
get ready.
Key losses: Amari Cooper, Lyle Collins, Randy Gregory. Yes, they had Randy Gregory. Then they lost him. Connor Williams, Cedric Wilson, Xavier Woods, and kicker Greg Zuerlein.
I feel like you could put parade music behind that. That was hilarious. Oh, man. And they gave Michael Gallup way too much money. Dalton Schultz is on the franchise tag. Leighton Vander Esch is fine, I guess. The only good one of these like signings/additions is Malik Hooker. Like he was pretty good, but like, man, they lost so much from a team that went to the playoffs. You could say what you want about what happened in the playoffs, but this is a team, especially in a weak NFC, that should be able to, retain half their team.
Yeah. Yeah.
And besides, they're the Dallas fucking Cowboys. You think players would want to play for them?
Nah.
I think some people might be a little sick of Jerry's World.
I guess.
All right. Okay, moving on to probably one of the surprises of the offseason. Let's talk about the Denver Broncos.
Well, things happened with them.
Oh yeah, let's see if I can find them on the list where they put them.
They're 19th on the list.
19th, wow.
They lost a lot in the Russell Wilson trade, and that's not even counting the draft picks they lost.
Right. So key resignings: Josie Jewell, linebacker and defensive tackle Deshaun Williams. The big one, two big ones: quarterback Russell Wilson, and edge rusher Randy Gregory.
Mm-hmm.
And they also added on defensive tackle DJ Jones and linebacker Alex Singleton. But
big moves.
Right.
Big moves.
But in that loss, they also lost Shelby Harris and Noah Fant. I think Shelby Harris went to Seattle for that.
And yes. Harris, Fant, and quarterback Drew Lock all are with the Seahawks right now.
Yep. Teddy Bridgewater. I was about to say Teddy Bridge Washington. Excuse me. Teddy Bridgewater.
Wrong quarterback that he's named after.
Teddy Roosevelt. And the linebacker Alexander Johnson.
This is going to sound weird, but even though they did get a franchise quarterback, even though he looked kind of not great with the Seahawks last year, they might be in solid improvement. Like, yes, this Broncos team is better than they were last year. The problem is, number one, they're in a bloodbath of a division right now.
Yeah.
Like, the AFC West is an arms race. And they lost a top 10 defensive tackle, a top 10 tight end, Drew Lock, and like that's, and they have like no draft picks for the next, or no major draft picks for the next couple of years. Like they've mortgaged their future on a guy coming off a severe hand injury,
right?
Who's like 30 on the wrong side of like 33.
Mm-hmm. But at the same time, anything is better than Drew Lock.
This is true, and that's why they're not any lower.
All right. Okay, moving on. Let's head on up north. Let's take a look at the Detroit Lions. I don't think they had that many. Now, I don't think they have that many moves.
They were quiet.
Yeah. Only real key addition was DJ Chark,
which is a great move.
Right.
But we'll get to that.
Right. And a bunch of re-signings. Tracy Walker, linebacker Alex Anzalone, edge rusher Charles Harris, wide receiver Josh Reynolds, wide receiver Khalif Raymond, backup quarterback Tim Boyle, other backup quarterback David Blau, and
backup ear quarterback
David Blau, and cornerback DJ Moore. Only 2 losses, and that is edge rusher Trey Flowers and offensive outside linebacker Jalen Reeves-Maybin. So again, this is the second year. I do expect a lot of improvement from these guys. Honestly,
what I'm seeing here is a team that wants to stick together. Like all those key re-signings, this sounds like a team that likes playing for the people in charge.
And honestly, And seeing especially what they did last year, those almost wins against it's just going off the top of my head, against San Francisco, against
Green Bay, on Monday Night Football.
Yep, Green Bay on Monday Night Football against the Ravens off the record-breaking field goal. They're almost might be a sleeper team this year. If
they could be.
Yes, which is why I think they should be in All You Need Is Draft.
Yes, because they still have 2 first-round picks, including the number 2 overall pick.
Right.
Like, they have probably a top 5 offensive line right now. They're there. They just need, number 1, a franchise quarterback that is not named Jared Goff.
Right.
And 2, some semblance of a pass rush. And they can get both of those this year. They can get Aiden Hutchinson probably at 2. And they could probably get like a Matt Corral at the tail end of the first, and like let him like learn from Goff for a year.
Right. And yeah, and given I think they have the number 32 overall pick from
they got the Rams pick.
For the Rams. They could get Corral or depending on who's available, they could get Malik
Willis isn't going to be available by then. There's so many teams that would love him. Like, he's not slipping past the Steelers, basically.
All right. So,
even with Trubisky, like at 32, they might have a chance for Matt Corral or Desmond Ridder or someone like that.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Carson Strong, maybe.
Of course. Yeah. So that's why I think. Yeah. So I think they're right there at all you need to draft. Kana, any words on the division rival?
Not really.
Other than Kitty Goes Meow?
Yeah.
Kitty go roar. Okay. All right. Next, the Green Bay Mother-Loving Packers.
Oh, man, they are falling apart at the seams.
Yeah, so let's talk about those, okay, one key re-signing, that's linebacker Devondre Campbell. And
Aaron Rodgers. I don't know why that's not there, but
yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah,
I guess that's technically a contract extension. I guess.
Yeah, because they restructured in 2019, 2018. I don't remember when they.
I think so.
I don't remember when they fixed that. But they only had one key addition, and that's a punter, Pat O'Donnell,
from the Bears. He was a good punter.
Mm-hmm. But oh man, just listing off these losses, I feel like I'm Tom Grossi, honestly, because I know who these players are: Devontae Adams, Zadarius Smith, Billy Turner, Lucas Patrick, Oren Burks, and Equanimous St. Brown.
Like, I keep waiting for the year where the Packers fall to earth. Like, I thought it was last year, like, because I thought that the Packers were going to trade Aaron Rodgers to the Broncos, but that didn't happen. But at this point, their number one receiver is who? Alan Lazard? Amari Rodgers? Someone third guy?
I don't know who their third person.
I know there's like 3 wide receivers on their roster, and none of
MVS.
He hasn't resigned.
He hasn't resigned.
Has not resigned yet. I don't think, but it's not Marquise Valdez-Scouting.
Okay.
But it's nobody who should be above a number 4 on any respectable team. Like, granted, they could still sign. Just thinking of wide receivers who are still available: OBJ,
right?
Julio Jones,
AJ Green.
None of these options excite me, especially since Odell is probably going to be not available week 1.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want to put them in better luck next year because they're not tanking.
No, but they do need the draft.
They do need the draft pretty badly.
Yeah, but they need the draft and a bit more.
Yeah.
I know, which unfortunately there's no real other category for that.
So I can't put them in all you need is draft because they need more than just the draft.
Uh-huh. Which is weird.
All right. Better luck next year, nerds.
Better luck next year, Packers.
Oh, man. It feels so good to see the Lions above the Packers.
Which is weird. Which is, by the way...
I know.
I know, and they're actually listed above the Packers on in the sporting thing as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Speaking of listed on the sporting thing, guess who's last?
The Houston Texans.
That being said, I don't think they're quite at WTF are they doing, but let's go through.
Okay. Key re-signings.
You might want to speed run this.
Okay. Key re-signings: Malik Collins, Desmond King, Justin Britt, Jeff Driscoll, Chris Conley, Royce Freeman, Christian Kirksey, Terrence Brooks, and Pharaoh Brown. Key additions.
Honest question, do you recognize any of those people?
No.
Christian Kirksey, I think, is the only one I recognize. Oh, and Malik Collins.
No.
Okay.
None. None.
Key additions.
It was just Kirksey for me.
Key additions, the only one two I recognize. Blake Cashman, he was from the Jets, and backup quarterback Kyle Allen.
I kind of recognize Obania Okonkwo.
And
yeah, that guy.
Yep, that's about it. And then big key losses: Deshaun Watson, Tyrod Taylor, Justin Reed, Jacob Martin, and David Johnson. Which I don't think anyone wants to pick up David Johnson at this point.
Yeah. That being said, though, they got 3 first-round picks for Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
I don't think any player has gotten 3 first-round picks for in one player for one trade since the Herschel Walker trade.
I know.
Which is why all you need is draft. Granted, they basically just shuffled around deck chairs on the Titanic with their roster. They didn't really go up, they didn't really go down. Mm-hmm. But they have a butt ton of draft capital now.
I disagree heavily.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It should be lower?
Yes.
How low are we talking, though?
They got 3 first-round picks for a player who was never going to play another down for them.
Do you still want to say better luck next year?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can go with that.
Yep.
Because they're not at the very, very bottom. They're like
mid.
They're like the Panthers. They're gonna suck this year, and that's fine. They're in a really tough AFC. Nobody really expects them to go far anyway. But so they'll have their own first round pick, which will probably be high. They'll have the Browns' first round pick, which will probably be in the 20s. They'll be well off for the future.
Mm-hmm. All right, moving on. Same division. We're heading back up north to Indianapolis. Let's go over the quick re-signings. Mo Alley Cox, Zaire Franklin, Matt Pryor, and Tyquan Lewis. Key additions: Matt Ryan, Yannick Ngakoue.
That's good.
Yep,
that's also good.
And Brandon Faison, cornerback.
Mm-hmm.
As for key losses, they did the Carson Wentz, Eric Fisher, Mike Lewinsky, Jack Doyle, Rock Ya-Sin, George Odom, Al-Quadin Muhammad, and Marlon Mack.
Okay, so keeping in mind that this team had the most cap space in the league going into free agency and didn't really come away with anything among the free agent class, that's not great. But they also got Matt Ryan for a 3rd round pick.
Yeah.
Solid improvement.
Yes, definitely solid improvement. I don't think I can make the argument for playoff contenders just yet.
Not in the AFC. If the Colts were an NFC team, I would maybe pull them up to playoff contender, but there are about 11 or 12 teams in the AFC who could theoretically make the playoffs. The Colts are not on the high end of that list.
All right. Okay. Anyway, same division.
Kana, do you have any thoughts on that?
No, you summed up what I was gonna say.
All right. Okay. Let's move on to a category where I think most of us could talk about, since we're wrestling fans. Let's talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars. Basically, if you can catch a pass, you're getting signed.
Run, Timmy, run! He's going to give you a 3-year, $35 million contract.
But anyway,
which is what they actually said to Zay Jones.
Huh. Anyway, key re-signings: Cam Robinson, Tyler Shatley, and Trey Herndon. Key additions: they got an offensive lineman.
I think Robinson was on a franchise tag real fast.
Yep. Key additions: they got Brandon Scherf, offensive lineman.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Christian Kirk is apparently going to be their number 1 wideout.
And not only that, but is now the second highest paid wide receiver in the league. Good for him. Get that paper.
Yep. Foley Fatakasi from the Jets. Linebacker Fayette Olakun. Darius Williams. Zay Jones. And I'm not sure where they got this guy, Evan Ingram.
Stonehands McGee.
But as far as key losses, Miles Jack, DJ Chark, Andrew Norwell, tight end James O'Shaughnessy, AJ Can, Taven Bryan, Damian Wilson, and Dare Ogunbowale. I think he went to the Texans?
That sounds right. I can probably find him on this page. Dare, key additions. Yep, Texans.
Oh, wow, I called that. But yeah, Shad Khan's actually spending money.
He's throwing around some money. Admittedly in the wrong places, but you know what? I like the spirit. Zay Jones should not be getting $8 million per year. Christian Kirk should not be getting $21 million a year. That being said, they got Brandon Scherf, who is a Pro Bowl guard. They got Foyesade Olakun, who is like maybe the best young interior linebacker in the league. Like, he led the league in tackles for the Falcons last year. Foley Fatakasi is a good pickup.
Right.
There's a lot to like here, as long as you don't look at the price tag, which is fine, because they're still well under the cap.
Yep. Yep.
So, solid improvement, I would say.
Yeah. And heck, I'd even say, like, if you really want to, like, be cynical, you could also say all you need is draft.
Sure.
Yes, but very low in that category.
Yeah.
I mean, they still do have the number 1 overall pick. And with what they picked up, like, now that they got Brandon Scherf, they franchise tag Cam Robinson, they don't necessarily have to go Evan Neal. They could go with Aiden Hutchinson if they wanted to in the draft.
Right.
It's a possibility. Also, I think they had a personal workout with Trayvon Walker, so he could slip up into number 1 pick territory.
Oh.
Or the Jaguars might trade down, but still.
Yep.
I could see them trading down to get like a first and a second.
Oh, if they trade more than like 3 picks down, they're going to get a future first.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was just using this year's draft only.
Right.
Right. Next, next let's head over to the Central for the Kansas City Chiefs. Big re-signings: Orlando Brown, Chad Henne, and Andrew Wiley. And the 2 additions, quarterback Justin Reed and wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster. Those TikToks are going to be weird.
Oh, yeah. Between him and Patrick Mahomes' brother? Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you know it. Is he actually famous for anything besides being on TikTok?
Not really.
And being Patrick Mahomes' brother?
Nope. But anyway, key losses. Tyreek Hill.
Cool.
Anyway, key losses. Tyreek Hill, Tyrann Mathieu, Charvarius Ward, Melvin Ingram, Darrell Williams, Mike Remmers, Demarcus Robinson, Byron Pringle, and Austin Blythe.
Yeah, and they lost a whole ass team.
Yeah, they lost a whole ass offense.
Like, yeah, I liked the Juju Smith-Schuster, the JJSS signing back when he was going to be a number 2 receiver. I don't like him as a number 1, especially seeing as how they don't even have Byron Pringle anymore. They don't have Demarcus Robinson. The only guy I think that the only major piece of their receiving core that's left, besides their tight ends, is Mecole Hardman. Yeah. Like, they need to address wide receiver in the draft big time. The only problem is, both of their first round picks are very late. I think they have the 29th and 30th pick in the draft now. And even if they package those 2 up, they're only going to get to maybe the early 20s, maybe the low teens. I don't see that getting them a big one. So
What I probably put them in all you need is draft.
That's about right, because
Yeah.
I can't really put them any lower than that, because that would imply that they're going to drop off majorly, and they might, because, AFC West. But,
Okay, now I'm actually kind of confused of where we're gonna put the Super Bowl champs, the Los Angeles Rams, in. So, big resignings. Just going ahead to look. Let's see. Key resignings: Joe Notum and Brian Allen. The big addition...
It's supposed to be Note Bloom.
What?
They spelled it wrong.
Oh,
it's supposed to be Note Bloom, but they spelled it wrong.
Okay. But their big addition, because Robert Woods got traded, was Allen Robinson. But they did lose a lot. Von Miller, Robert Woods, Darius Williams, Austin Corbett, John Hecker, Johnny Munt, and... Oh, yeah, I forgot. Austin Corbett retired. And Sebastian Joseph.
No, he went to the Panthers.
Oh, no. Which player retired from the Rams?
Andrew Whitworth.
Andrew Whitworth retired, right. And Sebastian Joseph Day.
Yeah.
So they're solid, honestly. But
it's weird. I can't.
I'm actually debating on where to put them, because they mortgaged their future with Matt Stafford, and yeah, it paid off freaking wonders. So
you can't really put them in all they need is draft, because their first pick is a compensatory third.
Right.
Solid improvement, I guess.
Not,
but they didn't really improve much.
Nah. So I guess I still put them as playoff contenders.
I mean, they are playoff contenders, obviously, but like...
But are they enough to be Super Bowl bound, though?
I don't think so. I think playoff contenders is the right place for them.
Connor, what about you?
Yeah. Not much to say. Like, you guys are nailing it, honestly.
Okay.
So, they did give a fairly large contract to Joe Noteboom, but, like, considering he didn't play that much last year, that's a little odd, but he's basically going to be the heir apparent to Andrew Whitworth, so it's just like, you're gambling on him, but they've probably seen him a lot in practice.
But anyway, let's move across the stadium, as it were, to who might actually win free agency. The Los Angeles Chargers.
They did things.
Okay, key resignings. Mike Williams, Dustin Hopkins, Chase Daniel, and Christian Covington. Key additions. J.C. Jackson. Mr. Interception.
Arguably the top, like, free agent in this class. Like, maybe one of the best corners in the league right now.
Khalil...
I'm just gonna...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I'm just gonna go put on my on my Chargers jersey real quick.
Alright, guess we found which bandwagon you're hopping onto.
Edge rusher.
Hey, they've always been my backup team.
Okay, that's fair.
Edge rusher Khalil Mack.
Knock him dead, Khalil.
Defensive tackle Sebastian Joseph Day from the Rams. Austin Johnson. And tight end Gerald Everett. Their key losses, though, Achena Nwosu, their edge rusher, Linval Joseph, Chris Harris Jr. Oh, they lost Jared Cook? Didn't know that.
Jared Cook bounces around from every team in the league. He's basically the NFL equivalent of Jamal Crawford.
I was going to go with he's the equivalent of Big Show face turn.
Oh, face heel turn?
Okay, yeah, true.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of a player who like bounces from team to team. But right. Ryan Fitzpatrick.
There you go. Anyway, offensive tackle Brian Balaga, linebacker Kaiser White, and then interior offensive line Scott Quisenberry.
There's nothing on here that they downgraded in, and in several places they upgraded.
Super Bowl bound, baby. John just gone Super Bowl.
Not only that, but they re-signed Mike Williams to a deal that looks better with each new market-changing wide receiver contract that comes out.
I know.
Basically, what I've learned is re-sign your guys as quickly as possible to as long as possible. Which is why that Chiefs deal for Patrick Mahomes was 10 years, $500 million. That's going to look like chump change in 5 years.
Speaking of record-breaking wide receiver signings, let's talk about the Vegas Raiders.
Who now have the second highest.
No re-signings. Here are their key additions. Devontae Adams, Chandler Jones.
You could stop right there.
I could, but I'll keep going. Rock Ya-Sin, Brandon Bolden, Bilal Nichols, Jacob Johnson, Anthony Everett, Mac Holland, and Amir Abdullah. As for
Amir Abdullah's
he signed with the Raiders.
Wow.
All right. And as for key losses, again, Yannick Ngakoue, I think it was only on for a year. Casey Hayward Jr., Carl Nassib, Alec Ingold, Nicholas Morrow, Marcus Mariota, Peyton Barber, and Quentin Jefferson.
Okay, so they're up there. They're definitely up into the playoff contenders. I love the fact that they reunited Derek Carr and Devontae Adams, who were teammates at Fresno State.
That's good.
I love the edge rushing duo of Max Crosby and Chandler Jones. That might get 30 sacks between them. Rock Ya-Sin, solid corner, did well for the Colts last season, I want to say.
I think it was Falcons.
Oh, okay. Basically, you could go either way. You could go Super Bowl bound or playoff contender, but they're like the Bengals; they'd be a high playoff contender.
Yeah, so I'd probably put them right here-ish, playoff contenders. All right,
sure.
Next, again, recently in the news, let's head south to Miami Beach.
Mm-hmm.
The Dolphins, key signings.
Oh, it was the Colts. It was the Colts who had Rock Ya-Sin.
Oh, okay. I was mistaken. All right. Okay. Miami Dolphins, key signings. Re-signed Emmanuel Ogbah, Mike Gesicki, Preston Williams, Duke Riley, Ellen Roberts, Brennan Scarlett, and Durham Smith. I don't know how you. Well, I see the Y and I think Smythe from the comic books. Anyway.
Yes, Smythe.
Anyway, key additions. Tyreek Hill for a lot. Taron Armstead, Chase Edmonds, Connor Williams, Cedric Wilson, Raheem Mostert, Teddy Bridgewater, Trent Sherfield, and Keon Crossan.
Okay, I know we've been joking. Damn, they signed a whole ass offense.
I know. But again, key losses.
Literally, I see a quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 receivers, and 2 offensive linemen. Which, yeah. Now, granted,
one offensive lineman.
What? No, 2. Teron Armstead and Connor Williams.
Oh, right.
All they need is a tight end and a running back.
Well,
they re-signed Mike Gesicki.
And they got Raheem Mostert.
Actually, Gesicki was a franchise tag, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, and Raheem Mostert, yeah.
But as for key losses, Jacoby Brissett, Matt Collins, Will Fuller, and Philip Lindsay.
Honestly, nobody that they really are going to miss.
Yeah.
Bridgewater and Brissett are about on the same level. Hollins and Fuller, they got Tyreek Hill and Cedric Wilson. That's an upgrade.
Right.
And even on defense, they kept Emmanuel Ogbah, who is, I think, their best pass rusher. They're playoff contenders at minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all good.
In fact, yeah, they might even go up to Super Bowl bound. But that's weird. That's weird for me to say about the Dolphins. I get that, but
I'm gonna keep them at playoff contenders. just because, just because of Tua. But we'll see what he does in year 3.
Yeah, basically this is Tua's like make or break season. Like, we gave you an offense now. Like, granted, he still doesn't have a great offensive line. Like, they got 2 pieces, but last I checked, offensive linemen are 5 pieces.
Yeah, but they could draft 1 or 2.
Nope.
Really?
They're going to be drafted in the mid-round. Because they gave up their first and second for the Hill trade.
I mean, they could still get something.
Sure.
All right. Let's move on to a team that's going to be in the lower parts. Let's talk about the Minnesota Vikings.
Lol.
They gave freaking Kirk Cousins $35 million fully guaranteed.
Yeah. Anyway, so Jordan.
Do we even need to go on? Can we just straight up put them in the bottom? But okay.
But yeah, as far as Kirk Cousins, but I just want to go over their losses. Anthony Barr, Nick Vigil, Patrick Peterson, Mackenzie Alexander, Everson Griffin, Rashad Hill, Sheldon Richardson, Michael Pierce, Tyler Conklin, Xavier Woods, and Mason Cole.
Listen to that
Ego
big car.
Now,
definitely not overcompensating.
Has Zadarius Smith signed with Minnesota? Because it's not listed on here.
I believe so. Yes.
Okay.
I just don't know if it's official. Like he expressed his intent to sign.
Okay. So.
And that alone moves them up a notch.
To what? All you need is
or
a draft?
2. Probably, yeah.
Or should we still keep him at better luck next year?
Better luck next year. They are not making the playoffs this year, even if they have a good draft.
Yeah, like they lost so many pieces. They're basically just trying to use the draft to offset that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That being said, they're losing a lot of pieces on a defense that wasn't good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're losing really big pieces.
So where are we actually putting them?
Better luck next year.
Okay.
All right. Next, okay, this is actually surprising of where they are on the sporting news list. The New England Patriots. Now, they did... most of their stuff are re-signing and losses. So, re-signed Devin McCourty, James White, re-signed Brian Hoyer. They re-signed their kicker, Nick Folk. But other than that, most of the guys are losses.
They re-signed Matt Slater, like the best gunner in the league.
Mm-hmm. But other than that, lost J.C. Jackson, lost Shaq Mason, lost Kyle Van Noy, lost Dante Hightower, lost Chase Winovich, Brandon Bolden, and Gunnar that Gunner.
Not as good of a gunner as Matt Slater.
Yeah,
that's some big losses.
Yeah,
and they
have it ranked as a C on this.
Like, the only person on the additions list that I could see is maybe being, like, contributing soon is Ty Montgomery. And that's mostly just a effect of how Bill Belichick handles his running backs.
Right. Oh, I feel weird putting this, but I'm going to have to I kind of want to put them in all you need is draft.
That feels about right. Like, they need to hit on the draft because, like, they do have probably the best rookie quarterback from last year in Mac Jones. Ugh, that's weird.
They need wideouts. They need a good wide receiver, and there's good wide receivers in that mid to late round, so they could probably pick one up.
Yeah. They're just in that range where a lot of teams around there are going to need a wide receiver. That's where the Packers are. That's where the Chiefs are. Thinking of other teams around that range. The Browns, I believe.
The Ravens.
Ravens, they could use a wide receiver. Like, it's the Cardinals probably, because they lost Christian Kirk and probably AJ Green as well. Like, they need help.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't get it in free agency.
Nope. All right. Moving on. Your neck of the woods, New Orleans Saints.
Yeah. So, funny thing, they went from having $75 million above the cap to literally at this moment having the most cap space in the league.
Yeah.
They can't keep getting away with it.
And they didn't really make that many moves. Again, re-signed Jameis Winston.
Mm-hmm.
Only major their 3 losses were Terran Armstead, Marcus Williams, and Ty Montgomery, and their big key signing.
And honestly, I thought. Oh, go ahead.
And their big key signing was Marcus May.
But yeah, I thought that they were like freeing up all that cap space so that they could end up retaining Terran Armstead, because I think they have like $30 million in cap space. They could have held on to him if they really, really, really wanted him, but I guess that they're still looking for other pieces.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It feels like they struck out in a lot of places. They picked up a whole bunch of cap space with the intent on signing somebody, and they did get Marcus May, who's pretty darn good. He's a solid replacement for Marcus Williams, but it feels like they tried to get a lot and then didn't get a lot. So,
is it wrong? I kind of want to put them in better luck next year.
Kinda, nah. Like they could compete in the NFC this year because they still have a solid defense. If Alvin Kamara comes back, they're gonna draft. Like, they'll be all right, and they're gonna draft a receiver. I don't know.
Kana, what do you think?
Lower.
WTF, what are we doing?
Yeah.
I can't put them in that category though, because they cleared up so much space. Like, they,
Yeah, but
we know what they were trying to do.
That's not because they did that because they had to, not because they really wanted to. What they wanted to do was also get a big name or two with all that cap space. They didn't.
Yeah, but if we did that, I would have to put the Packers in WTF. What the fuck are we doing? Based on cap space alone.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm.
You can go ahead and put them in what WTF.
Okay. So can I put the Giants in what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, so
they have made.
The bald man is sad.
Oh, gee.
They have made demonstrably bad moves.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, they're. Well, I mean, the only good move is getting rid of Evan Ingram.
Yeah,
and that's not really
and getting a backup quarterback, and getting a backup quarterback who isn't complete dog shit.
But other than that,
which they will need.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe Matt Breida's the only other big signing.
Yeah, like, they needed offensive line help, and they got Mike Lewinsky and John Feliciano, who are serviceable at best.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they did not improve, and they were already bad to begin with.
So, oh boy.
So
now
we come to your team.
Yeah, let's talk about the Jets and what moves they made. Because
it's a mixed bag.
Yeah, but it's a good mixed bag, sort of. It's a mixed bag that's like glass half full, if you're like. But again,
yeah, there's a couple of head scratchers, but
okay, I need to point something out. If I was handed a half a glass of beer, I'd be pissed.
It depends on.
Why don't you tell us about them?
Okay, but anyway, so first of all, thank goodness he re-signed Braxton Berrios.
That's great.
Good
Yes.
good re-signing. Again, keeping Flacco as backup, I think that's a good move.
Mm-hmm.
Tevin Coleman, good re-signing. Keeping Connor McDermott, also good re-signing, and also re-signing LaMarcus Joyner. He didn't really have a chance to do anything, so good thing keeping him. Key additions. Actually, some really good moves. Laken Tomlinson, I think is probably Laken Tomlinson, Jordan Whitehead, DJ Reed, CJ Uzama, Tyler Conklin, and linebacker Jacob Martin. All of them, I think, are solid to stud moves for Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh. Now, of course, when it comes to their losses, big names, again, Foley Fatukasi, Marcus May, Morgan Moses, Jameson Crowder, Keelan Cole, Lauren Duvernay-Tardif, and Blake Cashman. So again,
that's Dr. Laurent Duvernay-Tardif.
Sorry, Doctor.
He didn't go to 5 years of medical school for you to call him Laurent Duvernay-Tardif.
Okay, but anyway, these are all good moves. It's all a matter, and they again didn't overspend. And as much as I'm mad we didn't get Tyreek Hill, we still the Jets still have their two top 10 first round draft picks, which is great.
Yeah, the only two problems I have with this is, number one, who the fuck am I going to mock draft these people to? Like, they improved in all of the spots I usually give to them.
Well,
but number two, I mean, they could get like an edge rusher. Like, they could still get like a Kayvon Thibodeau or something.
Right. But I still think they should get if I was doing this draft, I still think they should go for Kyle Hamilton first and foremost. Get your like the best player in the draft in the top 5, and then if they're lucky, get either
maybe Kayvon or
like Tyler
Linderbaum possibly,
or who's the
Trayvon Walker if he falls to them?
Right. Who's the cornerback? Armand something.
There's Andrew Booth Jr., there's Sauce Gardner, and Derek Stingley Jr.
No, there was.
Those are the three that are in the top dozen range.
Right. No, there was another one. That I'm blanking.
Oh,
from Cincinnati.
Tyre Elam. Yeah. No, that's Sauce Gardner.
Sauce Gardner.
Ahmad Gardner.
Ahmad Gardner. Yes. Yeah. And I think like Douglas and Saleh were like really on him instead of Stingley Jr. But again,
yeah. The only thing that I don't like from this, besides the mock draft thing, which is memes, why did they give Tyler Conklin that deal when they just got CJ Uzama? That's like
depth.
That's like one of those things where, well, they paid him the same amount basically. They gave Uzama 3 years, $24 million, and Conklin 3 years, $21 million. And Uzama, I get, he's not going to put up 1,000 yards or anything, but he's an experienced leader of a player. But
they also still have, the Jets still also have Tyler Kroft.
Right.
So
it's just like, why did you need Jack Conklin? That's like one of those moves that you make in Madden during the free agency where you like just go for two of them and accidentally get both.
I don't know. Well, again, I think it's a depth move.
Sure.
Because last year, if not for the Ravens, the Jets would have got the injury curse.
Yeah. I don't mind it as depth. I just wish they didn't pay so much.
But overall,
solid improvement.
Yeah, solid improvement. Like I'd say low solid improvement, but high all you need is draft.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yes.
Me too.
All right. Next, let's fly over to the Dirty Birds. The Dirty Birds from Philadelphia.
Yeah, I was about to say the Dirty Birds or the Falcons.
Yeah. The Ratbirds. Oh wait, no.
No,
those are
the Battery Birds.
Battery Birds. There you go. Philadelphia Eagles. Key re-signings. Fletcher Cox, Boston Scott, Anthony Harris, and Greg Ward. Their two big additions. Hassan Reddick, edge rusher. and Zach Pascal.
Mm-hmm.
But they
don't hate that.
Nope. And key losses, a couple big ones: Derek Barnett, Hassan Ridgeway, Alex Singleton, Ryan Kerrigan. Overall, some
Brandon
good.
Brooks.
Yeah,
Brandon Brooks. I mean,
yep. Overall,
they lost some pieces,
but nothing too major. Again, Hassan Reddick is probably the big, that big guy to replace Derek Barnett.
Yeah, and Zach Pascal, he didn't do much with the Colts, but like if I recall correctly, he's like a big speedy guy.
Mm-hmm.
So
well, here's the
you
question.
could always use that.
Can he catch the ball?
I mean, when has that ever stopped Eagles receivers?
I don't know.
Fucking Agua.
Or I don't know. That's Jalen Reagor now.
Exactly.
But yeah, I'd say it's solid. Solid. All you. Yeah, I'll put him high. All you need is draft because I think they still.
Yes, because they do have 3 first-round picks.
Right. Yeah. Right. They still have 3 first-round picks, and they made the playoffs.
Yeah, they have 15, 16, and 19. So honestly, this team didn't really improve or decline that noticeably in free agency. So, yeah.
Okay. All right, moving on to the Steelers.
Steelers gone Super Bowl. That's not my rating.
Oh, okay. All right. Key sightings. Chukwuma Okafor, Robert Spillane, Arthur Mollett, Miles Kilbrew, and they re-signed Dwayne Haskins.
Ooh.
Yeah. Key additions: Mitch Trubisky, James.
Hey, they're going from a guy who kissed titties non-consensually to one who kisses them consensually. That's an upgrade in my book.
All right. James Daniel, Miles Jack on linebacker. Center Mason Cole. Quarterback Levi Wallace. Wide receiver cornerback Akello Witherspoon, and wide receiver Gunnar Ozlewski. I hope
there's that guy again.
Dang it.
That guy you can't spell.
But key losses outside of Roethlisberger retiring, thank God. Joe Hayden, Zach Banner, Juju Smith-Schuster, James Washington, and Ray McLeod. So they
lost 3 kind of big receivers and did not pick up any more besides Gunnar Olszewski.
Yeah, Gunnar Olszewski.
That being said, they got Mitch Trubisky out a fucking deal. It was like $7 million a year.
That's not terrible.
That's quite a deal for a starting quarterback.
He also basically didn't play last season.
Hey, and apparently he really impressed the Bills staff.
So that's good.
So, yeah, that's pretty good. James Daniels was a quite good guard with the Bears. The Bears' offensive line wasn't great last year, but it wasn't James Daniels wasn't the problem. Mm-hmm. They got Miles Jack, I think, on a solid deal. I do like Levi Wallace. There's really not a lot here. And they got they re-signed Okafor, who was one of the better parts of their O-line. Right. They still need to go O-line in the draft. Holy shit! But
right. That's why I'm putting him in all you need is draft, because they do need to draft the O-line.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying lower.
On what reason?
Well, let's start off with the fact that the QB they've re-signed, or that they've signed, is not good. He's very not good.
Well, he is going to a much better system. He's going from Matt Nagy to
Brian Dable.
Oh, why can't I? The head coach.
Sean McDermott. Wait.
Okay, yeah, with the Bills, but no, I was thinking the Steelers.
Oh, Mike Tomlin.
Mike Tomlin, thank you. That's a massive improvement.
The issue is he's going from the Chicago Bears, yes, not a good team, where he did throw a fair amount of interceptions, which you
Never thrown a
don't
pick
want.
6, though. He's the only starting quarterback who's never thrown a pick 6.
So,
And if we look at around the same time for Big Ben,
Mm-hmm.
he was honestly putting up similar, like only slightly more interceptions.
He also had much better receivers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the lowest I can go with him is low. All you need is draft.
That's what I'm thinking as well.
I would be saying high the tier down.
Like, even if they didn't get a quarterback at all and we're going with either a rookie or Mason Rudolph, like, this would be a great, at least a good free agent signing. Like, all the rest of these deals make total sense. So,
all right. In doing so, let's move on. All right, we have 5 more left. Let's see if we can speed through a couple of them. Starting off with Seattle Seahawks. Most of their stuff was re-signing major guys. Re-signing Quandre Diggs, Will Disley, Sidney Jones, Al Woods, and did they franchise Rashad Penny or was it...
No, they I think they got him on a 1-year deal, but it wasn't the franchise tag.
All right. But again, outside of the stuff with on the Denver Broncos deal,
Russell Wilson.
Yep, with Russell Wilson, getting Noah Fant, Shelby Harris, and Drew Lock. They also got Quentin Jefferson, which Chen Nwasu, Austin Blythe, and Artie Burns.
Yep.
And again, Russell Wilson's gone, Gerald Everett's gone, DJ Reed's gone, and Jamarco Jones is gone. So
yes,
again, Russell Wilson is a big loss in this. And
yes.
Jeez.
They also got a ton of picks for him.
Right.
So, for a quarterback that was very unhappy with the team, who wanted out. Like, I remember earlier in the offseason, someone saying it was either him or Pete Carroll that was gone, and we saw what the result of that was.
Right.
So they got picks. They have at least a bridge at quarterback. They have a top 10 tight end, which, when was the last time the Seahawks had a good tight end? Like Jimmy Graham? Maybe?
No, wait, crap, what's his name? Yeah, probably Jimmy Graham.
Yeah, going back before then, like...
was Jermaine Kearse tight end, or is he wide out?
No, he's a wide out.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, they haven't had a good tight end in God knows how long. And, like, this team is better. Like, provided that they find out what they're going to do at quarterback. So
this is a draft team. This is a draft team.
Yeah, either draft team or solid improvement. One of the two.
I'd say draft because Drew Lock is not the improvement that they need.
Oh no, he's a definite downgrade at quarterback.
Yeah.
But that's like the only position that they downgraded at this offseason.
But anyway, let's move on.
Oh, Kana, anything?
Oh, Kana? You there?
Kana? Blink twice if you can hear us.
Oh.
I'm tired. Very tired.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. This is what happened after, like, I did that mock draft where I was, like, 3 rounds in and I just felt like dying.
Don't worry. Thankfully, we're almost there. We only have 4 teams left.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Moving on. San Francisco 49ers. Key additions. Chadarius Ward, Oren Burks, Hassan Ridgeway, George Odom, and Ray McLeod. Big losses: Larry Tomlinson, DJ Jones, Raheem Mostert, Trent Sherfield, Tom Compton, and Trenton Cannon. Overall, didn't lose a lot. They didn't really lose a lot.
I do like the signing of Trevarius Ward. Ray McLeod is a good special team specialist.
I think draft.
High draft or low solid improvement?
Like, the people that they lost aren't going to hurt them too bad. Like, Raheem Mostert, he's all right, but he was always hurt. And Laken Tomlinson, like, yeah, he had a little rebound, but I think he was only there for like a year. Like, I think this is a solid improvement. Like a low solid improvement.
All right, well, I'm right in the middle there. All right.
Yeah.
Next.
Besides, we need a couple more in that territory.
Right. All right. Moving on. Next, next Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Da, 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 da.
Re-signings and franchise tags. Chris Godwin, Ryan Jensen, Carlton Davis, Aaron Stinney, Rashad Perriman, and Leonard Fournette. Key additions: Shaq Mason, Russell Gage, and Logan Ryan. But they did lose a lot. So Jordan Whitehead, Alex Kappa, Ali Marpet, O.J. Howard, Jason Pierre-Paul, Dominic Sue, Richard Sherman, Ronald Jones, Giovanni Bernard, and Le'Veon Bell.
They had Le'Veon Bell? I
Yeah.
was with the Ravens last year. Okay. Yeah, so they lost pretty much all of their running back core.
But here's the thing that doesn't also tell you. They convinced Tom Brady to unretire.
I know.
Yeah, that alone, like, if they had gone through all of that and, like, still ended up having to trade for Garoppolo or something like that, this would be in, like, all you need is draft, but they don't have any draft picks.
Yeah.
This, however, keeps them in the top half of this, at least.
Oh, yeah, I'd still pull them in playoff contenders easily.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not comfortable putting them in Super Bowl, but I am very comfortable putting them in
playoffs.
Playoff, yeah.
Yeah, my only problem is they basically lost their most of their interior offensive line, and they did kind of replace them with Shaq Mason and Aaron Stinney and Ryan Jensen, but yeah.
All right. Anyway, all right. 2 more teams. Next is the Tennessee Titans. Ooh, where are they?
Speaking of the Tennessee Titans, draft news.
Ooh, draft news. Drew, tell us.
1 second. Let me just. I was looking at Adam Schefter's thing, and while we were recording this, a re-signing happened. God damn it!
That's actually a really good idea. I'm glad that you were staying on top of that. Good job.
Yes, one
10
of us
points to Kana.
One of us was like, methinks this is okay. So, Oella, and I don't know how to say that last name.
Let me go find him.
Here, I'll just.
Yeah, I have Ian Rappaport on mine.
Here.
All right. Okay, Titans are signing. Oh, this is tricky. Ola Edeniye.
What position?
To a 1-year deal. Linebacker.
Okay.
1-year deal for a linebacker.
And this is a re-signing?
Yeah.
No, this looks like a pickup.
Oh, from who?
I will have to check the list. Ola. Can you spell that for me? That way I can find him on this page.
I posted it in the Discord.
Ola Adeni.
Okay, he's not showing up on the key losses list, so that's not a good sign.
Okay, so it's a re-signing.
Or it's either a re-signing or a very not important, or it wasn't even important enough to put him in the key additions.
All right.
But we have very accurately dated this video recording. So
anyway, but as including that resigning, Harold Landry, Ben Jones, Fat Randy Bullock, Dontrell Hilliard, and Jordan Wilkins.
Wasn't ready for that.
But as key additions, the two big ones, Robert Woods and Austin Hooper.
Mm-hmm.
Along with
So, quick thing with that player. He's been in the league since 2018. Played 3 years for the Steelers. Last year, joined the Titans and has basically just been like backup lineman.
Okay.
Like backup.
Who? Jamarco Jones?
Back. No. The trade we were just talking. Well.
Okay. Yeah. Ola
Adini.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just give up on saying his last name.
Yeah.
But anyway, again, Austin Hooper.
Adini.
But anyway, other signings: Trent Cannon, Jamarco Jones, and Buster Skrine.
Mm-hmm.
But and again, losses: Julio Jones, David Quessenberry, Roger Saffold, Dante Foreman, Jack Rabbit Jenkins, and Anthony Fursker. Oh, I had him on my fantasy team last year. Fursker.
Anthony Fursker?
Yep.
Was he any good?
He was good in spurts.
Okay. All right, so Austin Hooper's a bit of an improvement over him because, like, he was all right, I think, with the Browns last season, but nothing too exciting. Robert Woods is going to be great when he is ready to play, which might not be right away, but like when he plays, he's a strong number 2 wide receiver behind AJ Brown, so that's great.
Yep.
So yeah, solid improvement.
Yep, I'll put them there. All right.
And honestly, this is now looking almost like a perfect bell curve. So
almost. Yeah, but
almost.
But I don't think the Commanders are Super Bowl bound.
Yeah, that's why I said this now, because it's about to screw this whole thing up.
All right. Okay, so Commanders, Washington signings: J.D. McKissick, Cam Sims, Bobby McCain, and Tyler Larson.
Mm-hmm.
There are 2 additions: Carson Wentz
and
Andrew Norwell, offensive guard. And everyone else is gone. Brandon Scherf, Eric Flowers, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Tim Settle, Matt Ioannidis,
Matt Ioannidis.
Yes. DeShazier Everett, Landon Collins, Ricky Seals-Jones, Kyle Allen, Adam Humphries, and John Bostic.
Yeah, so they lost basically maybe the best duo of guards in the league. That's not great.
No.
They added Commander Carson. That's not great.
No.
Like, honestly, the situation that Wentz is going to is at best a lateral move, and at worst a huge drop off in like organizational quality. Like, this is a move that is not going to pay off. I honestly think they would have been better off just drafting a quarterback than going with Carson and like taking his monstrous contract.
So,
what the fuck are you doing?
What the fuck?
We started with one, we're ending with one.
As all things should be.
Perfectly balanced.
It's sort of.
Yeah, at least in that regard.
Yeah.
Is there any other teams that we feel like moving? Because I could honestly move one or two. I could move 1 or 2 of those teams from playoff contenders to Super Bowl bound.
I probably
maybe the Bengals.
Yeah, I'd probably move them up. I'd have to see what they do in the draft.
Right, but this is just free agency. This is just this section of the.
Yeah, maybe the Bengals into Super Bowl bound. I probably would move. I might move. Trying to say, I think I might move Detroit up to solid improvement. Maybe.
No. It's literally going to be them and the Vikings fighting over who's going to come last in the division.
You heavily don't like the Bears are right there with them. Like
Oh
also,
yeah, but I have bias.
I know, like I'm a fan of them, and I don't have any bias. But I do like how there's 4 NFC North teams, and I like how the Lions are the highest of the 4.
I might move Indy into playoff contenders.
Basically, just for the Matt Ryan move.
Yeah, and I really can't.
Here's an additional question that I want to bring up that we should have had at the start of the video.
Mm-hmm.
Do we count management changes?
Oh, that's actually a good question.
Because if we include management changes, I want the Bears to go up because we gutted our management, which needed to happen.
Okay, I can agree with that.
All right.
That does keep the Cowboys as low as they are because they kept Mike McCarthy.
Right.
Yep.
Would we move?
Okay. Maybe move the Dolphins up to Super Bowl bound then because they got a great. Well, no, because they lost a great coach too. So
I keep him there.
Lateral move.
I would. Oh, in that case, I'd actually move Raiders down.
Oh yeah, because they have Josh McDaniels. Ah.
Yeah. Let's go up one rank with their management getting gutted and replaced with hopefully competent people.
Mm-hmm.
Jacksonville's fine.
The Jaguars.
Yeah, Jaguars are fine where they are.
Yeah, although the improvement from Urban Meyer to Doug Peterson is demonstrable. But they're in a good spot.
Yeah. And
maybe the Broncos go up a tier.
Up to playoff contenders?
Yeah, because like they got rid of
Vic Fangio.
Vic Fangio in favor of Nathaniel Hackett. That's going to be a good move.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think there's really any.
We should have brought this up earlier, but I like doing this at the end where we can like examine where the players are and then adjust accordingly.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything else because I think I believe Titans are good where they are. San Francisco's good where they are.
Seattle might move down one because they kept Pete Carroll.
That's true.
And yeah,
I'm just moving around, so I think they're there. There.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably move the Jets a little further back because again, they're still the Jets.
As always. I'm feeling good about this, though.
Yeah, I think this is actually a good tier list.
Mm-hmm. Because there are admittedly more, like, super bads than super goods, but I can't think of anybody that I would, like, move around in that. So.
Yeah. I mean, even if like the Packers are in better luck next year based on free agency, I still think they probably would still be considered playoff contenders. I might move them up to all you need is draft, but like low all you need is draft.
What the fuck? Okay, Colin Kaepernick is working out with the Seahawks.
Really?
Come on, that ship has sailed. Like, he's been out of the league for 5 years. That is ridiculous.
I don't know. I think this is fine where we have it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of, like, any other. Actually, you know what? I'd probably put Giants last in the WTF. Are we doing? Saints high. Yeah. All right. I think this is good. I think this is our 2022 free agency. So Super Bowl bound teams: LA Chargers and the Buffalo Bills. playoff contenders: Cincinnati, Cleveland, the Rams, Dolphins, Bucks, and Broncos. Solid improvements. The Colts, the Jags, 49ers, the Jets, Titans, and Las Vegas Raiders. People that definitely need help with the draft. Eagles, Falcons, Eagles, Ravens, Lions, Chiefs, Patriots, Steelers, and the Bears. Teams, better luck next year. The Packers, the Seahawks, Falcons, Panthers, Texans, and the Vikings. And throw up our hands and giving up are the Saints, Cardinals, Commanders, Cowboys, and the Giants.